Hello, hello, hello. It is snowing in New York City. I just finished filming interview for Millionaire Listing Season 9, which I think we have been filming for now like 7 years maybe. But here's the snow in the city. Yay! Where it's like melting before it hits the ground. But we're gonna go live today with one of my favorite authors, Chris Hogan, who wrote a book called Retire Inspired. And he focuses on building wealth for families. He's super, super cool. So let me see if he is joined here. And if you guys have been jumping in our kind of our random lives. Oh, here we go. Chris Hogan 360 works. We will rock and roll. He'll join here in a second. And to all of you who watched the Jesse Itzler live yesterday, I love you. Oh, dude!
What's happening, buddy?
You are the man. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, man, it's an absolute pleasure to be able to get on here with you. And you can keep that snow up in New York, okay?
Yeah, but where are you right now?
I'm in Tennessee.
Yeah, that sounds nice to me right now. It is like cold, rainy, wet. Even the taxi cabs look cold. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I wanted to bring you on and talk to you for a few minutes. And I know you're busy, about your theory about building wealth, not just for one person, but for the group as a whole and for the family. And I know a lot of people know, Retire Inspired in your book and kind of everything you talk about. But could you, for people who may not know, walk everyone who's here through kind of what your theory is and what you're all about?
Absolutely. Well, I did the first book, Retire Inspired, to do America's wake-up call on the topic of retirement, that we can't wait on the government to take care of us. I mean, the government has proven it knows how to spend, and spend, right? Yeah. The next book, Everyday Millionaires, is really talking about what it takes to be able to build wealth and to become. We did the largest study of millionaires that's ever been done. We talked to over 10,000 of them. And here's the deal, Ryan. Number one, what I know to be true is you need to believe that it's possible for you. Regardless of where you were born, regardless of where you went to school, or how your parents handled money, you have to believe that it's possible for you to do it. Number two, we got to grow in our knowledge, right? We got to understand how this money stuff works. There are all kinds of acronyms and all kinds of things that are going on. Learning about budgeting, it's really important. We got to tell money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Then we got to get ourselves out of debt, right? We got to attack that, because when you get out of debt, you give yourself a raise. And then I want you to build up a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Then I want you investing, my friend. Invest 15% of your household income. It's going to put you on the path to becoming an everyday millionaire.
You just dropped like 5 golden nuggets right there. I want to go back. One of the first things you said, hopefully I don't die here. My Yuri's driving like a crazy person. Is something that I talk about to people all the time who say to me, well, I that's just not for me, right? It's not possible for me. Mm-hmm. Why do you think so many people don't think that making money, that success, that personal wealth is possible for them? Do you think it's just generational? Do you think it's what they've been told?
You know what? You bring up a good point. I think it's a lot of how they were raised.
Yeah.
What was modeled for them, right? Did they ever see anybody doing it? And also internally, what they believe is possible for themselves. There's that statement out there that whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right.
Yeah.
And so it starts with that mindset. And also starts with having some wins. That's why I like you. I love your energy. You are a coach like me. We are coaching people and guiding people. And I think it's important for people to have that person in their head and in their heart, pushing them and telling them, you're not there yet, but you can. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many questions I have for you, but I want to be cognizant of your time. Your energy is infectious. This book that is taped to my hand that I wrote during quarantine that comes out next week. I titled it Big Money Energy. Because I was writing it during quarantine when a lot of people were losing money. People were losing their job and they were furloughed. And so many people kept saying the same thing to me. They connected their self-worth to their income.
Yes.
And I was helping a lot of salespeople through. I talked to a lot of salespeople. And then the book just sort of poured out of me. And it's really about creating a magnetic energy that attracts success to you so that you can get to a point where you're not pushing so hard every single day, which I think
Right.
is obviously hard for people. But there's these things that I put in there called codes, big money energy codes, and I want to read one to you if that's okay.
Sure.
Because when I was going through it, I was thinking about you. So it's big money energy code number 16. Every goal needs a picture of success. Visualize what your big success looks like daily.
Yes.
And you just mentioned that, in talking about you and I, but does that code speak to you in any way?
That code speaks to me massively because I firmly believe that we got to see our dreams in high definition, right? Like we need to see it just like that high definition TV, you know, the scene, and you go, my goodness, you can see sweat coming out of somebody's pore. Or Ryan, as I'm watching you on the show, I can see things, right? I can see you. And I want people to see their dreams that way. And that means we got to visualize not only what it is, but visualize ourselves being there. And I think that internal seeing it so clearly can motivate us in ways we didn't think possible.
Yeah. Do you think it's okay if people, fake it a little bit? Like if they need to feel good about themselves, or if they, really want something materially, that they go and get the fake bag or the fake watch just because it's a good reminder to them that one day they will be able to get the real thing?
Well, I think it's
like
important
training
for us,
wheels, kind of.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to motivate ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a picture of that item, whether it's you getting a knockoff, I mean, whatever it is. But I think we got to see it and go, we got to really internally believe. Ryan, I talk about we got to be careful. The outside voices of people, other people, it can impact us. But the most powerful voice we have is that internal voice, the stuff that we tell ourselves. And oftentimes, if we're negative to ourselves, we'll be defeated before we ever get to the start line. So you've got to believe in yourself and get people around you that believe in you too.
For sure. I love that. You got to surround yourself with who you want to be, right?
Yes.
Not who you were.
Yes.
I also like what you said, just logistically kind of get yourself out of debt is giving yourself a raise. That's a hard one for people to wrap their head around, right?
Oh, it really is, because we're the most marketed to country on the planet, right? Every time you turn around, there's a commercial trying to make you feel bad about what you have or don't have. And so I think us looking at it and going, you know what, I'm not participating in that debt thing anymore, right? I'm not going to make 12 easy payments of $9.99 for a sweater. I'm going to save up and pay cash.
Yeah. How does, you are the best. How your energy, I mentioned it for a second ago, but how do you work with people to change their energy? Because that's a big thing for me. To change their financial profile. Because you talk about that a lot, and I want to go into it.
Well, I think it's important for us to analyze what we believe and why. And I think for people that have not made any progress with money, they don't think it's possible. So the thing I try to do, and the thing we do here at Ramsey Solutions, is to provide people a system, right? To provide people a plan and a way to plug into it so they can make it happen. I think small victories lead to massive success. And so I'm helping people lay out the plan so they can have those small victories.
Yeah, micro wins. Micro wins. How do you work with people who then say they've been working really, really hard, though? It's one thing to meet someone for the first time and change their outlook on life. Okay. But what about the people who they have two jobs, right? They are hustling. They did get laid off during COVID, but they went and found another job. They're doing all that work and it's just not working. And it's just not clicking, and there's no way to save. What do you say to those people?
Well, first and foremost, I try to acknowledge and understand that if they're truly making sacrifices and working hard, that's awesome, because they're bringing the effort to the table, right? I can't make people bring effort. I can help them define their want to, but they have to bring the effort. So then what I would say is, hey, if you're not making progress, we got to figure out where your money leak is, right? And I talk about that in my book, Retire Inspired. We all have areas where we do money stupid. Right? For me, it was eating out in grocery stores, Ryan. I'm going to tell on myself here. I was dumb, and I was making the grocery store wealthy instead of building wealth myself. So I would help that person to find that money leak, but to still continue to believe that they can.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, oh man, I'm trying to think right now. I think I have like 80 money leaks. I think I might need to come to Tennessee so you can whip me into shape a little bit.
Well, listen, here's
it's so
what
easy
I
to
love.
spend.
I know it is, but I love the information you're putting out about people really analyzing themselves, right? Really looking at it and really starting to make decisions. And I had to make a decision. Do I want the grocery store to be rich, or do I want to build wealth? And the thing that motivated me the most was the sake of my 3 boys, right? Sure. I want my 3 boys to have a different legacy. And so as you start to think about what really matters to you, yeah, we can buy some stuff. Stuff is nice, but I'm going to tell you, you start digging into that stuff that gets your heart happy. You start thinking about your kids or your grandkids or your great-grandkids one day. That's a different level of thinking, and that's a different level of motivation.
How do you define success, though? Is it relative for everyone and just getting out of debt? Is it you set a goal and you hit that savings goal, now do it again?
I think success looks a little bit different for everybody. I think it can be a matter of wanting to have a legacy. It could be a matter of wanting to continue on. For me, the continuing it, my grandparents did a lot of depositing into this little country boy. They helped me to believe more than I thought possible. And I had teachers and coaches that got me to believe. And so it's one of those things where I look at it and I go, man, success for me looks like impact. Like, I would love for somebody, after I'm long dead and gone, to bump into one of my 3 boys and say, you know what, I met your daddy, or I heard that man talk and he made me believe that I can. To me, that's success.
Success is impact. If I didn't have this book taped to my hand and I was in a car, I would write that down. So if my team is listening, Puma, if you're listening, can you write that down for me so I don't forget it? Success is impact. That's a life-changing statement right there, because it helps you understand what it is you're working for, right? And if what you're doing isn't there to leave an impact, let alone make an impact, but what you're saying, right, leave an impact, then are you doing it for the right reasons?
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Totally off topic for 1 second. Were you ever a singer? Your voice is like angelic. It's amazing.
I appreciate the compliment, but no. The only singing I do is in a choir, right?
Okay, well, that's singing.
Well, I mean, back in the day, I need to blend in. I don't need to be out there out front. But people swear that they think that I can sing, and I'm telling you, I shouldn't.
Dude, you make me want to make a documentary about money so that you can narrate it. Like, I want to go and make a movie about pigeons, and you'll narrate the crap out of it. It would be amazing.
Well, listen, I know you and the way your mind thinks. So the next TV show you come up with, I'm going to do the voiceover.
That would be. You could do my voice for me. That would be awesome.
Hey, no, I can't do your voice. People like your voice and they want to see your face. They just like listening to me.
You need to, Puma just wrote, you need to read. You need to do a thing where you just like every day, it's like 5 p.m. poetry with Chris, and you're just reading poetry. I think that the world would honestly probably be in a better place. This has been awesome, man. This has been super, super helpful. I wanted the people that follow me to know more about you. I'm sure they do already, but I just find you so inspiring and so insightful, and you have such an amazing way, which a lot of people have a hard time doing, of taking complex ideas and making them simple. So that people can understand what it is they need to do.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Like just saying to someone, oh, you need to save money and go invest it. Like, great. Thanks so much.
Right.
Like, what does that actually mean?
And how do you do it?
Yeah, but you really, really, really break it down. And that's always like, I'm drawn to people who have that ability, because it is really, really hard to do. And that's what I've always tried to do with sales. Like, you want to sell $100 million this year? Great. Okay. But how are you going to do it? And how do you really, really break it down?
Yeah.
And it does, for me, there is that toolkit for how to sell, but then this thing is that secret sauce, right? It is how to build the confidence so that you can get going on everything you're talking about right now. You don't have to wait, right? Yeah. Everything is possible today. You can be future you.
That's right.
3 p.m.
That's right. And that's the beautiful thing about our country, right? is that we don't need a permission slip from anybody. We can decide and try in the same minute. And that's what I want people to do.
Yeah. And I think that, yes. I was just talking about that actually. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, Jesse Itzler, who said that you've got to be okay with being embarrassed, which really resonated with me as well. And I think people they get very embarrassed about their finances, which is why they don't talk about them. People who have a lot of money are embarrassed about it, and then people who don't have a lot of money are very embarrassed about it. And so they harbor it and they hold it in and they let it eat away at them.
That's right.
The last question I have for you is, how do you overcome that? Like, how do you suggest that people overcome feeling embarrassed about how much money they don't have?
I think it's really important to never allow pride to get in the way of your progress. Don't let pride get in the way of your progress, which means we've all done money stupid. I could raise both hands, but I got to hold the phone. But we've all been there and done that. And you know what? Where I am right now doesn't have to be where I end up if I make the right decisions. So I would tell that to all your viewers. Put your pride in your pocket. Sit down with somebody that can help you so you can start to move forward. You have a great opportunity right where you are. You got into debt, not overnight, but over the years. So it's going to take some time to get out, but it's going to be worthwhile. You can do it, and we're here to help.
Yeah. Do not put pride before progress. Puma, can you write that down, please? I'm not in the office. I'm in a car in a snowstorm in New York City. Chris, you're the man. I'm just like watching these comments come through, and it's amazing how loved you are and how you've helped so many people over the years. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to do this. I know you're busy. And if you're around on the 2nd, when this book finally comes off my hands, we're doing a virtual book party. I've got Damon John from Shark Tank, who's been a friend for a long time, and it's going to be fun. Awesome. It'll be cool. There's a link in my bio for anybody else that hasn't gotten the ticket yet. And we'll also be donating a lot of money to Feeding America.
That's fantastic, man.
Which is a charity that's been super, super beneficial during COVID for a lot of people who have trouble getting access to food, which should not be an issue. It's 2021. It's like, it's insane.
Well, I'm proud of you, my friend, and congratulations on the book. I know you're going to be changing people's lives. Keep fighting the good fight and don't ever stop.
Chris, you are the man. Thank you so much for doing this. I love you, dude. I'll see you later.
All right, my friend. Take care.
Bye.